Hello ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Today we're back in the PMDG 777-300ER as British Airways or Speedbird 6-1-way service from Heathrow to Malé with a flight time of approximately just shy of 9 hours and 20 minutes. So the block time of 9 hours and 45 minutes, cruising at 330 initially. We're going to step climb higher. Cost index of 200, and we're going to be taking 370 passengers and 95 tonnes of fuel on board today. So let's jump into the flight deck and get everything set up. So welcome into the flight deck as the system starts to come online. GSX is boarding in the background, so let's jump into the overhead panel and get the AIDUs on. The utilities on, emergency exit lights and the window heat. That's the overhead panel all sorted there. We'll jump into the FMC and we'll go and get the airport popped in, so it's EGLL. And we're at stand 53 8. And then we'll pop that in and we'll go fuel. And it'll be 95 tonnes today, and the payload is going to be 205 on the dot. Lovely. And we'll pop that into the position for the IRS and we'll select the route and get the route selected, and that should pop nicely into the FMC. And we'll load that. And we're just waiting for it to activate and execute. And we'll go departures. Well, first of all, we are going to be on runway 27 right. And we'll execute that. And we'll go departures, 27 right, and we're on the Det 2 Foxtrot, and we'll execute. And the arrival into Malé is going to be the ILS 36 X-ray on the Elba 1 Alpha via Benku, and we'll pop that in. And that is our routing all sorted there. We'll click the magic B button and get the barrier reference set up, and we'll have a look at our flight plan. So left-hand turn after departure over London, and then we're going to be flying through most of Europe, exiting Europe over Turkey, down into Iraq, flying over the UAE and then into the Indian Ocean, over Oman, and then over into Malé. We're going to make a left-hand turn onto ILS X-ray 436. And we'll just pop some fixed rings in. We'll go 5-mile ring round the runway, 10 mile and a 115 mile ring. That's lovely. We'll go in at reference, performance, and we'll reject that. So we're going to be taking 205, we're going to be taking 15 reserve fuel, 330 and 200 on the cost index. That's what we've got written on my clearance bit here, and that's everything set up. So we'll get the APU started now, and we'll get the fuel pumps on because we're fully fueled. And there's not a lot left to do, but we've got to wait for the IRSs to align before we can carry on with the performance, which we'll have a look at in a minute. So we have to wait for the IRSs to align to pop all the stuff in. We'll just have a quick look in the meantime at the departure, which is that one there, and the stop altitude of that SID is 6,000 feet, and there is really no speed restriction, just 250 knots below 10,000. So I'll jump back in when we are all ready to pop the performance data in and get ready for push and start. So welcome back into the flight deck. We're ready to put some performance into the FMC. The IRSs are now aligned, so we'll go to the performance tool in the AFB, and we're going off at 27 right today, We'll import all the necessary information and we'll click calculate, and it's giving us a performance of 53 for our selected temperature. And we'll bump up the climb as well. And our takeoff is going to be flat 5, trim of 550, 180 knots. So our takeoff speed, and we'll plug that in now. I think after we've done this, everything's pretty much ready to rock and roll for pushback. So we'll set parking brake. And everything's nicely set up there. I think, I haven't flown the 777 in a while. We're ready to go. So, request push and start from GSX. And we'll remove the chocks. And what we'll do is we'll face southerly and taxi round towards Terminal 3 and then cut in. We do 27 right side. We'll just go through the checklist. Everything's been completed now. And we're just waiting for the beacon light, which we can pop on now, and that is checklist complete. So we'll go normal, and that's the after start checklist. So we'll just pop on the engine page, and we'll get ready for our engine start. So we're here in the satellite gates. We're going to taxi, we'll cut in probably there, and then taxi along to 27 right. It's not actually too difficult to taxi around Heathrow. There's a couple of there's 2 taxiways either side of the runway, and then you go onto the main taxiway which takes you through to the terminal. So it shouldn't be too bad. Should be able to navigate it quite easily. We're not online, so we can just turn whenever we want, as long as it fits 777. And I love the 777. Look at that. That is a brilliant picture there. T5 standing proud in the background. Thankfully, Heathrow Airport is open for us today. Still can't quite believe that it shut down because it lost power for that fire. That was interesting. Thousands of people affected by that. You'd be absolutely peed off, wouldn't you, if your flight was cancelled or something like that. So, release parking brake. And away we go. So we'll go engine number 2 to start. And we're in a 777, so we can just throw the fuel straight in and not worry about it. And engine number 2 seems to be coming online nicely now. I forgot to set the block timer on the first officer's side. This is the newest update of the 777-300 as well by PMDG. I can't quite remember what number it is, but everything seems to be working fine with it. We've got rid of the red bar, so that is engine number 1 can come online now, so we'll throw the fuel in. I really love the 777. PMDG don't get enough credit for their aeroplanes. Every aeroplane I've bought from them has come completely working with no bugs or minor bugs, and their products are just so good on performance, so nice to fly, look great, sound great. Such a quality publisher they are, PMDG. I'm really looking forward to their next couple of products. 777-200 is my favourite version of the 777, so we're flying that a lot, and then hopefully before 2026, not too far away, hopefully we get a 74, because that would be really cool. Imagine doing some retro British Airways 747 ups out of Heathrow to JFK and stuff. That would be really cool. So we set parking brake, and we'll tell GSX to go away. Got a good engine start, and then we'll go outside, disconnect, step outside. But that 777 looks really nice, especially when it's all weathered. God, that was really nice. Yeah, smash down to just waiting for the bypass pin. When that's shown, we're safe to start our before taxi checklist. So when she turns around, shows us the pin, which she has now. So let's do the taxi flow. So we'll get the hydraulic pumps on. So the fault light's gone out, and we can carry on with the rest. All fault lights have disappeared, APU off, taxi lights on. Aircraft's set itself up nicely, and we'll go flaps position 5 and flight controls. And the trim can go to 550. So full right, neutral, left, neutral, forward, neutral, back, neutral. Now for the rudders, full left and full right. All flight controls are free and correct. Check this time. Anti-ice not required. Recall checked. No indications. Auto brake, RTO. Flight controls have been checked. Ground equipment clear. We are normal. Flaps are 5 and 5 indicated. Checklist complete. We are ready to go, I believe. So, release the parking brake by standing on the rudders, and I'll give it a little bit of thrust. Maybe a little bit more. There you go. And we'll get on our way. Hello and welcome back into the flight deck. Hope you enjoyed that little time lapse of the taxi. We'll get the landing lights on now and get ready for departure. Weather radar can come on and add a little bit of thrust. And we're getting our way. So, not much wind here at Heathrow today. Weather's really nice and calm straight down the runway, so shouldn't need any erratic inputs on departure. probably take up most of the runway. We are really heavy actually. I didn't realise how far the Maldives were away until I downloaded the FSDG scenery. Is it FSDG? Their scenery for the Maldives and the heliport, or not the heliport, the seaport, which is nice. So we've got some cool scenery, and this scenery you're seeing here is of course the fabulously built Heathrow V1 for 2020. This is good enough for me. It's a brilliant scenery I think for Heathrow, so we'll line it up on the runway. And look at that lovely sunset in front of us. Brilliant. So we are ready to go. Lined up nicely on the runway. We'll spool them up just so I can line up my thrust levers, and that looks stable to me. Chrono and release the brakes. Toe gap. Take off thrust set. Light forward pressure on the yoke, maintaining centre line as well. Goodbye Heathrow. Neutral on the control column now. As mentioned earlier, we're probably going to take up the whole runway.
V1.
V1. And rotate. Positive rank, gear up. Onto the flight directors, left hand turn coming up. There's that left hand turn, so we'll follow the flight director bar. What a shallow climb rate. We are really heavy. And we'll go flaps position 1. Trimming for the up speed now. Still following that flight director. Really shallow climb, we are really heavy. And we're nicely trimmed down. I think it's time for the autopilot to come on. There's autopilot 1. And flaps can go to the up position. And there is Heathrow and goodbye London. Flaps coming up now. So it's G90's push us towards our cruising altitude. Turn taxi lights off now. Lovely weather in the UK today. When we get to the Maldives, there might be some thunderstorms around. It is forecast, but SIM may not depict them. It does say they're not going to interfere with our flight, but there is going to be a couple hanging around, so we'll have a look when we get there. And there's the pause. Might be a long one. It's just because it's unloading Heathrow stuff. Don't worry about it. Always happens when I go from Heathrow or JFK or any of these airports that are quite large. As soon as it wants to unload it will stutter. and I don't know what caused it, to be honest. And there you go, snapped out of it. And the performance has been pretty good so far, so I'm glad that's the only stutter we've had as we reach our initial climb of 6,000, and we'll stay at this level segment for the next couple of turns. And our Gatwick's somewhere to our right hand side now. We'll match up the courses. So guys, I'm going to leave you with some climb and cruise highlights. There's not much left for us to do apart from turn the lights off and release the passengers. So what I'll do is I'll leave you with some music and some climb and cruise highlights, and I'll see you when we're descending into the Maldives. We've been airborne for about 9 hours and 6 minutes now. Quite a long flight this one's been. Everything's set up, ready to go. We're nearly there. The island should be directly in front of us shortly. So we need to be at 4,000 feet and at 210 knots before entering the centre fix point for the arrival. Go around 4,000 feet. I've plugged in the minimums, all the course and everything we need already. Probably going to be parking, so we'll land 3-6, probably go quite far down the runway. It's 11,000 feet, it's quite a long runway. And then on the parking stands, we can go. Oh, there's quite a few that can fit the triple. So, yeah, well, whatever GSX gives us basically. There you can see our routing all the way crossing the Middle East. It's a bit strange descending and there's absolutely nothing in front of us. But we haven't got long left, but about 20 minutes until touchdown. We get the data on as well so we can see our altitudes and what time we're going to be there. The PMDG's handled the flight really nicely as well, nothing to report back. Did its auto step climbs while I was asleep, so everything's been quite nice. So we'll actually plug the speed back now and go 245 knots. And we'll help out with a little bit of speed brake as well. Lovely stuff. And we'll go vertical speed, 2,000 feet per minute should be okay. Altimeters are changed. It's just the landing checklist to do next. So, speed brake can be stowed. Actually, I'll just have it out a little bit more. The speed was starting to slip again. I think that 2,000 feet might be a bit too much. We're just trying to catch up with the VNAV that we have left. So winds are calm, 30-degree weather, and that's much better, could you? Taking some very posh passengers over to the Maldives. I'm hoping we should get to see some of the resorts as we go in. Just get all the lights on as we're about to pass through 10,000. About 1,200 feet per minute, that should be okay. Straight speed brake. That should be a nice descent rate for the aeroplane to handle. So the descent's going well so far. Should be on time actually as well. 1,000 feet per minute. We'll just think about slowing down in a minute. Probably get configured a little bit early as well, because I've never been to Malé Airport in any scenery or sim. So I don't know how big the runway is. Well, I know it's 11,000 feet, but I don't know what sort of picture I'll be seeing when we come into land. So we'll go full flap as well. So we'll go flap 30, order brake 3. That should be enough to get us there. Dry. That's cabin regular, lovely. Very efficient cabin crew on board today's flight. We'll slow that descent rate to about 800, well no, we'll go 700. Just slow it down as much as possible. We'll match up the headwinds now. The islands are in front of us now. Have they got any hotels and stuff modelled on? I'm assuming they would. FSDG are quite good with modelling their airports. I'd be interested to see how much, how detailed the scenery is. I don't think the airport's actually open yet. I think the bit where we're going to park, I think it's still being built. So we go 220 on the speed, or 223 to just keep it on that up speed. I'm slow the descent rate down to about 600 feet per minute or 500. Might need to whack a bit of speed back out to help it as well. And we'll go flaps position 1. We'll go down to 210 knots. Want to be at 210 knots for that first turn or lower. Flat one's holding the speed quite nicely. Now, go flat 5 shortly as well. There you go, and that looks really nice out there. Still haven't seen any major land, and there, just to the left hand side under the window, is one of those hotels I can see is being modelled. So we go flat 5. Slow it right down now. So go 190 knots. Beautiful, look at that. Making that left hand turn now. Onto final. Approach mode. Slightly high, so we'll just accelerate that descent. About 1400 feet per minute, and that should do it nicely. Yeah, I know the speed brake's extended, so stow the speed brake. Thrust is coming up. Just on the speed brake now. Oh, the ortho's doing some funky business. We'll go flat 15. We'll slow it right down to 180 knots. And there are some cool islands. Such a lovely aeroplane. So easy to fly. Yeah, I don't know what it's doing with that ortho. It's been a bit funky. Might be something to do with how I've installed the scenery. But hey ho, it's fixed itself. I didn't even actually. It's probably a bit bad on my part. I didn't even check the scenery. I installed it and decided to do a flight there. So I've just spent 10 hours flying somewhere I don't even know if I've installed it correctly. So we'll find out shortly if I have. Right, 170 knots. Slow it right down now. Just want to be ahead of the game with the 777. It is still quite a slippy aeroplane. It's that big wing it's got. And just because we're flying into an airport I've never flown into, it's radio altimeter, I just want to be ahead of the game really. So, gear down. Get the taxi light on now. Everything's on upstairs, flat 20, 163 knots. And there's definitely a hotel in front of us, and that looks really nice down there. What approach speed? We'll go 150 knots. It's asking us to do 143. I know you're supposed to add 5, but just round it up to 50 just to be sure. And we'll start configuring full flap. So we'll go 150 knots, flap 25, and full flaps. And we've got flaps 30 green light. That is the landing checklist complete. And there's the islands below us. Look at that, fantastic. Let's have a look outside. Brilliant, look at that. Right, well, I don't know where this haze has come from, but I can just about see the runway in front of us. We'll give it a little bit of time, hopefully it clears a bit more so I can see what I'm doing. Really helpful. Airborne for 9 hours 20 minutes, so slightly delayed. It's probably my own fault for slowing down a bit earlier than usual, but I just wanted to be a little bit more modest with my flying because I've never been here before. 1,000 feet, and let's do some hand flying. So I can see the runway. I think there used to be two. The other runway now is a taxiway. Follow the lights in and try not to land on the taxiway and do a Harrison Ford. So getting a bit low, correcting. Malé, yeah, city's off to our left hand side. 500. That wind for down the nose is blowing me about a bit. You can see where the old runway is, or that's. I wonder how many people have had some nearly accidental landings on that runway.
Above. Decide.
Continue. Look bang on to me, so we'll carry on. Keep in the no central.
50, 30, 20,
and we'll hold it
10.
there. Keep it there. Bit of a long landing. Come on, the runway somewhere. And down we are. Lovely. Keep it on the centre line. Speed brakes are up. Reverses are green. We are decelerating. Missed the first exit. No bother. We'll get the next one. Stow the speed brakes, manual braking, disarm the auto brake, and welcome down to Malé. That was really nice. It's one of our better landings actually. So we'll slow it down to taxi speed, get the weather radar off, and clean the aeroplane up. Swing to left here. And yeah, quite happy with that one to be honest. Thought it might have been a go around if we find the runway in time. So we get the shutdown checklist up as well. Get the engine page up. Lights can come off now. I think that's everything done there. So flaps coming in. And the speed brakes are stowed. It's quite simple taxiing. There's only one major taxiway here. It's the old runway. Taxi right down to the bottom where the big stands are. So I can't get confused. Well, I say I can't get confused, I'll probably still park at the wrong stand again. You guys watched that video I did Oh, what's that? That's not the airport we're at now. I will reload it in a second. If you guys watch the A350 flight to Shanghai, you'll understand that when there's too many stands, I get confused quite easily. I know in the video I parked on standing, it was fine, but I tried to find that stand in the menu for about 10 minutes before I got GSX to work. It was quite funny. So I'll just taxi down the old runway. And parking, so down here. What stands are we going to take? So we can take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7. There you go, 5 suitable stands. So, oh no, they're all too small. Right, we'll just take the only one. No, gate 7, that looks okay. We don't need to follow my car, I know where that is. So we've got gate 7, which I think is the remote stand right at the end. And it is, yeah. So that's fine. I don't think you can park actually at the terminal in this area when I was looking at the picture. I think he's got like work fences up, so that's quite cool. I don't know if it's been worked on in real life. It might be finished by now, but I just really wanted to fly to the Maldives. Lovely. Absolutely. Yeah, best livery on any plane, the BA livery is. I really do like it. Did a flight in the 350-1000 to Nairobi the other day, and the British Airways livery just looks so stunning. That's another successful flight under our belts. Quite happy with that, how that went. Not too bad landing into the Maldives actually. Pretty straightforward for a very remote island. The 2 ILS's and quite a massive airport. I suppose the tourism that we get to the Maldives and the islands is so big. The seaport airport is off to our left. The city of Malé, or I don't know what the city's called, I just know it's Malé, just behind the terminal building on the right. It's quite cool, that modelled it all. FSDG, I mean, it's not the best, it's not the worst. I always think it's quite solid, their sceneries are. They always look realistic, they always do the textures nice, there's nothing to complain about really. So yeah, there's like a blue fencing around the airport, as you can see on the right hand side in a second. I'll zoom in when we get closer. There's the seaport over there. That's where you get your seaplanes to one of your private islands or the nice resorts. Wish I had enough money for that, that'd be interesting. And yeah, it's like a blue don't die fencing, isn't it? It's like a workman's fence. So I'm assuming the new terminal building isn't ready yet, so that's why all the aircraft are parking down at the bottom, which is fine by me. Our poor multi-millionaire passengers will be made to walk or get on a bus. I think it's like that in the Caribbean a lot, isn't it? It's like Barbados, it's all stairs, and a lot of those islands you have to get onto a bus or walk straight to the terminal. If you guys want me to do any flights you'd like to request, please don't hesitate to put them in the comments below. I do read all the comments to make sure, or not to make sure, to see if there's anything, videos or ideas you can give me. Get the API on quickly actually. Yeah, I'm always up for doing your flight suggestions. I might purchase the Aerosoft CRJ V2 when that update comes out. However, I've been watching some videos on it. looks like it's still got loads of bugs, so typical aero shite really, isn't it? Don't think I'd ever buy one of their products. Well, I say that, and I've just said I want to buy the CRJ, so probably will, but definitely not the A330. And there's the City Ashley Sorrow in front of us. That looks nice over there. Swing it round though to stand 7. Yeah, I don't think I might buy the CRJ if they've updated it enough for me to think about it. Because did I fly it before? I've never flown it before, but I kept watching videos and it doesn't follow LNAV, which was really annoying when I was watching the videos. I think it's Captain Canada, the videos that we're watching. I do have the, tell you what, the next video will definitely be the Avro RJ. Really want to show that flying off in a video. It's brilliant. It's so much fun to fly. This is our stand here. Real handful, real old school, so we'll give that a go next time. Or maybe the MD-11, because that's just had an update. And I have undercooked that turn massively. Stand 7. Yeah, it definitely does look like a workman's fence in front. So I'm assuming, like I've said, it's just a... they haven't finished the airport yet. So, keep going. Oh, bit too heavy on the brakes there. Let it roll forward. I'll call it a day there. So, park brake set. Engines 1 off. APU says it's on, and we've got APU running on the cam. Engine number 2 off, and welcome down to Malé. So guys, welcome down to Malé. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video as much as I did. Really nice to get back in the PMDG 777-300 for a while. Hopefully soon the 200ER will be coming out with all the engine options. That would be cool to fly. I know that's nearing the end of its beta development, so that should be available for purchase in the near future. Yeah, nothing to report back about the flight. It was very enjoyable, no problems as of such. We'll jump back into something a bit more old school next time, probably the Avro RJ or the MD-11. Just because we've been flying so high-tech modern airliners, it'd be nice to jump back into something a bit more retro. If you've got any flight suggestions for those aircraft, please don't hesitate to pop them in the comments below. But for now guys, I'll leave you. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all again very shortly in the next video.